Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Meet the Experts, which is kind of our Meet the Doula version. Tonight, we're going to talk about tips for partner support. So you're going to hear from each of our doulas that are on the call this evening. I think everyone has had time to get in now. It looks like it. So our agenda for the evening is first, we're going to meet our team, do our workshop portion where we share our tips with you. Then there's an opportunity for you to put some questions in the chat if you have anything that comes up throughout that you want to ask about, and we can chat about that at the end. And then the highlight of the evening, which will be our doula breakout rooms, kind of like doula speed dating. So you get to hang out in a room and we pop in and out, and it's kind of entertaining waiting for people to disappear and reappear, but it's an opportunity to have a great time having a private chat with everyone and asking all your questions that are more specific to your needs, and can be talking about what we've discussed this evening and then more personal questions for yourself. The first portion of our workshop is recorded and the recording will be sent out afterwards. And of course, the doula breakout rooms are private and not recorded. So also, if you want to throw in the chat section your name, maybe when you're due, or any information to share, just to help with our conversations later, be great. And we'll get started, and I get to go first. So I am Amanda Kennedy. I am a postpartum doula with Helping Hands. I have 3 daughters of my own. They are busy out entertaining themselves in the world for March break because they're all in the teenage years. So I'm in a different world than you, but it is equally as chaotic, and I could use some support too. So in that vein, my tip is for partners to really take an active role in their own education. So just be an active participant. As a birth parent, it's sometimes quite easy to take ownership of what's happening and dive right in. But there's lots of research that partners can be doing, whether that is the parent partner, grandparents who are going to be partners, supporting friends, family, anyone can do this research. There's lots of stuff to read, chat with your own peers. So dads talking to other dads is a great place to get information. There's some pretty cool dad Facebook groups and support groups out there. Ask your doula questions. Nothing makes us happier than when the support parent is asking us things and wanting to know stuff about what's going on and how they can support their partner and how they can support the baby and other things that they can be doing. And, when you've researched something and found some interesting information, share it with your partner and say, hey, I read this. What do you think about that? Open up a dialogue with each other and be open to each other's ideas. Because one thing that's really important to know about raising little humans is that it requires a lot of trial and error. So any ideas you can bring to the table are welcome. And what works with one person might not work at all with another person. So it really is good to have lots of ideas at the table. Quite often I walk in and can do something with a baby, but when you hand it back to a person with a different energy, that doesn't work as well. So they have to have their own strategies. So we're always talking about, well, this is what I worked, but I think it's because of this. So maybe you can try doing it this way. So it's always important to know there's not just one way that works with a baby. So be an active participant, learn as much as you can, and try as many things as you can. And it's pretty cool when you have your own way with the baby, especially that only the partner can make work, and makes them feel really special, creates really great bonds. And then knowing how to support your partner is really important. And in the role of a doula, we can help you a lot with ideas on that, but do your research around that too. I have gone on long enough. I know everyone else had lots of great ideas. So I will pass it to the next doula and we can chat more in the breakout room. So I will pass it to Christy.
Hello, nice to see you all. Some familiar faces and some new ones. So I'm Christy. I'm a mother of 2. I'm a birth doula and a postpartum doula. My children were born one the normal way and one by C-section. So I have like a perspective of the different ways of giving birth. And there were 2 radically different pregnancies as well. So I've been doing this work for 11 years now, and I'm really delighted with it. So there's no end in sight. So I think my well, anytime somebody comes to me and says, what are your number 1 tips for pregnancy and birth? I always say diet and exercise. Make sure you eat a really healthy, wholesome diet, because that's going to stave off some of the more common issues that can arise towards the end of pregnancy. I mean, it's not a guarantee that you won't have it, but it's much less likely. So things like high blood pressure, preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, all of these things the risk of it can be staved off with following a really good diet, which includes lots of leafy greens, good vegetables, enough protein and healthy fats. So yes, and enough calories. So what a partner can do to support this is to support these lifestyle things. For a lot of people, pregnancy may mark the first time in their lives where they've really had to take a look at like daily what they're putting into their body. So, maybe you're young and healthy, and you've just always had a really good metabolism, so you can eat kind of whatever you want whenever you want it. And that doesn't always work extremely well for pregnancy. So especially when like some really weird cravings come up, and maybe all you want to eat is ice cream and cheese or something, which are delicious and perfectly okay in small amounts. But, if it's been a challenge for you throughout your life to eat spinach, for instance, maybe the partner can help support making that lifestyle change. So some of the things you can do is eat the same things together. You make a mutual lifestyle change, or, you get extra bonus points if you can cook those things for your partner. As well as, especially in the 3rd trimester, helping the pregnant partner to maintain a good level of activity. So it's going to really help that person when they get to the childbirth stage and the recovery stage from childbirth, like whether you've had a vaginal birth or a C-section. If you've been relatively active and mobile throughout your pregnancy, is going to help you to heal all those muscles and tissues and everything after pregnancy. So, towards the end of your pregnancy, maybe you're just like feeling tired at the end of the day, after having, work your regular job all day, and then the job of growing a human as well. Maybe you don't want to go for a walk, but if your partner is there, like, come on, we can do this together, and just go for a 20-minute walk around the block. And then you can help achieve those goals of getting that like light aerobic activity in at least 3 times a week, 3 to 5 times a week. And also it like gives you time to bond together and to understand what the pregnant partner is going through, and to just, connect to each other a little bit. So yeah, I think those are like big difference makers. There's a ton of things that a partner can do to support the well-being, but those 2 particular things, sharing in eating your veggies and going for little walks, or whatever it is that you do to support your regular activity in late pregnancy. I've spun it out as long as I can, I think. So I'm going to pass it on to the next person. Welcome, Esther.
Hi, everyone. My name's Esther. I'm a birth and postpartum doula with Helping Hands. And my tips actually are more pertaining to the birthing side of things. So the support partner on the day of, really the most important thing is to just remain calm. I know that it's kind of a hard thing to say because it's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of stuff is happening, and you're worried about your partner and what's going on with her. But remaining calm and keeping your energy relaxing. And I'll tell you why I'm so about this. I recently had a birth where I saw the partner telling his wife essentially, and the way that he was telling her to breathe, my heart melted. He was just like, we have all the time in the world, just breathe with me. And he was breathing with her together. And what was great about that is it was calming him down. She was following his direction, so he was breathing in for 4 and then out for 6. And you just saw him like in the moment relaxing with her, and they were having like this, they were just bonding together, and you can see how the love just flowing between them. It was just amazing. And he was giving her kind of a pressure on her hand, which again was kind of like a love thing, but it can be done through any support partner, even a family member. Just giving some tight pressure on one part of the body. He did it on the hand specifically, and she was focusing on this instead of the contraction itself. So it helped to refocus the birthing parent's mind onto the hand instead of the contraction, which I thought was really nice. And he was just talking with her. He was just like, you can do this. You're so strong. I'm so proud of you. Giving those affirmations and saying that you're there for your birth partner. Those things they mean a lot in the moment, because it's a very vulnerable stage in a person's life. And when we give birth, everything's kind of on display, and there's a lot going on, and it's a new experience. Even the second time around, I have 2 kids of my own. Even the second time around, it's again, you're all on display and you forgot it all. It's like you're getting deja vu again. You're like, can't believe this is happening again. So just, yeah, being relaxing, being calm, speaking to her, telling her she can do it, and just supporting her in any way that you can is amazing. And I'll pass it on.
Next, we're going to have Christine. Are you able to unmute, Christine, or do you want me to do that for you?
Hi, sorry, I'm on my phone and I'm having some technical issues. I don't usually do Zoom on my phone. I wanted to talk about support partners and just the superpower of their love that they bring. And whether that's, a romantic partner or a family member or a friend who's supporting you, it's that deep caring that they bring that is so encouraging to you, especially in labor. Especially during labor, those encouraging, loving words, like Esther was saying, they make such a huge difference. And that relaxation and calm that comes from the oxytocin that's released from all that love and care, it causes your contractions to be more efficient. So not only does it make a wonderful birth memory and it makes you feel better in the moment, it also makes your labor more efficient, which is a really cool superpower that our support partners have. And after you have your baby, this loving encouragement continues to be really powerful. And anything you're trying to do as a new parent can be helped by this kind of loving encouragement. For example, if your goal is to nurse your baby, it is helped. But your goals, it's easier for you to meet your goals when you're surrounded by loving encouragement. So that is my major tip for today is support partners. You don't have to bring a whole bunch of knowledge or cognitive stuff. If you can bring your most important superpower, which is your loving encouragement to this whole process, it's going to make it so much better for all of you. And I'm going to pass it to Maria.
Maria's actually not able to be here, so Jessica in the fire.
Yeah.
Jessica, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm a postpartum doula at Helping Hands, and I also have a daughter of my own. She's a three-nager, so we're riding the waves of getting to know her strong will, which I'm super proud of. But yeah, she also is testing us in many ways daily. Go Theo. And what I wanted to talk about today, in terms of a tip for support partners, is more with respect to the postpartum period. And it has to do a lot with getting comfortable soothing and also be an active participant in the bedtime routine. So I guess step one would be getting comfortable with soothing and getting to know your child in that way, so that when the dust settles and, you know, a few weeks go by, things start to naturally have more routine, like, you know, days and nights are not all completely scrambled and stuff, that you, support partner, can not only you know, take on bedtime equally, but maybe even take on the bedtime routine completely. And that's your thing, you know, like that's your parenting kind of thing that you bring to the table within your relationship. And the benefits of that are many. For your relationship with your child, I think that it can be easy as the primary caregiver or the parent that's home most of the day with baby or child to be the default, you know, bedtime person, because they are so comfortable soothing, and they are so they just have, you know, naturally all that extra time with their child. If you take some extra time in the early days to be a part of those soothing routines at nighttime, your child will likely identify you as that person anyway, and be used to that. And your partner will be forever grateful to have some extra space in the evening to really walk away knowing that you have control and that you are taking it on. And potentially even for her to go out with a friend or something, you know, in the evening, go out with some girlfriends for a dinner or something, and not be trapped in, you know, I have to be here to do that. So long term, I think it can be a really bonding thing for you and your child, and also for you as a couple. I don't know who is next. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I can do that. Next, we have Sharon. And I know she can take over.
Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good evening. Welcome to our Meet the Team. I am Sharon, and I am a postpartum doula with Helping Hands for about 7 years now. I primarily do overnights. That's my thing. And I really love those little snugglers and just enjoy spending time with them and the new families. I find it really, really fulfilling. So my tip for you as the partner tonight is to be the record keeper or the tracker. Mommy brain is a real thing, and moms have gone through the whole pregnancy and labor, and the first few weeks are totally exhausted. So it's really difficult sometimes for them to even know what time of day it is. And you can be very, very helpful to your partner by keeping track of things. And what do I mean by that? I mean, keeping a notebook. Notebooks are probably even better than phone trackers and different things like that, because a lot of times you'll find other people come to help as well. So keeping track of things for your partner, like when did she take her pain meds? They will forget. Your partner will forget. And it's really important to keep on top of that, keep track of her pain meds. Has she taken her vitamins? You know, encourage her to keep on her prenatal vitamins, keep track of that. At the beginning, she may need a stool softener. Keep track of that, write that in a tracker. Other little things like keeping track of snacks. So for every feeding, making sure that beside the area wherever mom's feeding, she's got her little snack bag stocked up with whatever's her favorite things, nuts or fruit or, snack bars, yogurts, whatever, cheese. Just having it there and reminding her that she needs to always snack, try and eat little meals, reminding her about her drinks, keeping track of, oh, the feeding is coming up soon. I see that on our time, and making sure her drink is full, or a little bit of juice, or, whatever she likes to have. Those are things that are really, really going to be helpful for your partner. Things like, when is the next feeding? At the beginning, it's important to keep to a certain track of feeding the babies at certain times. And, sometimes the birth parent is just wiped out and can sleep through an alarm. So being her alarm and just keeping track of that. She may forget, did the baby pee? Did the baby poo? Just keeping track of that for her, so that it puts her mind at ease, that she can just look at this tracker and go, oh yeah, I didn't think the baby pooped today, but look, baby pooped 3 times. So that puts your partner's mind at ease, that you've got her back. You're just making things a lot smoother for her, reminding her, I see you didn't eat your lunch. Now it's dinner time. Can you please try and have a bite to eat? Keep track of, have you had a shower today? Not that you're stinky, but you're beautiful, but why don't you go and have a little shower, have a little downtime, and just reminding her of her self-care, as well as all the other things that sometimes the first few weeks are just so overwhelming, and just having her back like that with the gentle reminders and keeping track that puts the birth parent's mind at ease to know you're there to give her that direction, really does go a long way. Another thing is just resting, giving her the cues that it's, why don't you go lay down? Why don't we go lay down? Why don't we take the baby and go snuggle for an hour? Those are things that really resonate with the birth parent a lot of times, that they just need the reminders and they need the rest. And the more that you can contribute in that way, it's just thoughts off your partner's mind, and it goes a very long way in bonding the two of you, because this is a partnership and you are definitely contributing just by doing things like that. It goes a very, very long way. So those are my tips. I know we have a little bit of extra time, so each of us doulas are going to go through and offer you a tip for a book. So I think Amanda will maybe run through us again, and we can each give you a little tip on books that we found have been helpful. So I'll hand it back to Amanda.
Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, we thought it would be fun to share some book suggestions so you can start doing some of that research and learning about ways to be supportive. So we've each, many of us, I think all of us, have a book here to share with you. I'm going to type them up in the chat so you can see the list. And then when we send the recording out to you later, you'll have the full list in there as well. So I will... we'll just go in the order that we presented. So I will go first. And the book that I am currently reading, and I think is a fantastic resource for partners, is actually called The Birth Partner. And it is a complete guide to childbirth for the birth partner. And it also will share a lot in there about the role of a doula in your pregnancy and birth as well. So next will be Christy.
And I didn't unmute myself. I was waiting for my slide there. I'm like, oh, right. So I think The Birth Partner is a great resource also. And I like to point out that it was written by Penny Simkin, who's the founder of DONA, which is the Doulas of North America, one of the earliest doula training and certification organizations, probably still one of the biggest ones worldwide now. So she's like, you know, the godmother of doulas in this part of the world. The book that I wanted to share about goes along with my theme also. Is called Real Food for Pregnancy by Lily Nichols. This is her second book. Her first one, which I found was just incredible and totally changed my perspective on gestational diabetes, is called Real Food for Gestational Diabetes. So I would recommend that one in particular to anybody who's at higher risk of gestational diabetes. Don't wait until after you've had your 24-week glucose challenge test. If you're somebody who has like polycystic ovarian syndrome or something like that, that changes your hormones in your body, or you had gestational diabetes in a previous pregnancy, go ahead and read this book as soon as you know that you're pregnant. But otherwise, the Real Food for Pregnancy also will help give you a perspective on all of the other things that food can do for you in your pregnancy. And that's all. Who's next? Esther.
It's Esther, yes.
Okay, so my book, I have it with me actually because I'm reading it again, just because I love it and I needed a reminder. So it does have to do with my theme as well. It's about breathing and relaxation and all of that. So it's hypnobirthing, the Monaghan method. And what's actually great about this book, it does come with a CD, this one specifically. I don't know, you have to look on Amazon to purchase the right one, but it really helps with like teaching you how to relax for labor, how to prepare your body. It also gives you kind of like these exercises that you can do with your partner, which is also really great. So you can practice that. There's also some really interesting birth stories in this book, some labor positions. It's really kind of all encompassing, and it changes kind of your perspective on labor. It's a very positive, like if you're afraid of labor and birth and all that, it gives you a very positive outlook, which is what we need. We need to have all of that. So you would really enjoy it, I think. And I recommend it to all my clients all the time. And I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Esther. Next is Christine A.
Hello. My book that I recommend, I had to read this for a training recently and I just loved it. It's called Baby-Led Breastfeeding. Follow your baby's instincts for relaxed and easy nursing. And it has at least four, by Gil Rapley and Tracy Marquette. And I really loved that in this book, we can see that the authors trust our babies to know what they're doing. And it doesn't just stop at breastfeeding, but also talks about starting to introduce solids to your baby and how to do that in a way that trusts your baby's instincts again. So I really enjoyed that part of it.
Thank you, Christine. Next is Jessica.
The book that I am recommending is Becoming Us. It's a really nice guide to how to navigate becoming parents as a couple. It's a huge shift in dynamic and in roles in the household. So, you know, I think we expect it, but then when it happens, it feels a little different than just talking about it. And so I think it's really nice to have a book that focuses on what's happening to people as a couple, if that is your situation. It's not always the case. And just kind of, yeah, some help in navigating those kind of challenges as they're happening. And the reassurance to know that it's so common, you know, like these conversations that are happening universally almost. So yeah, a little attention on what happens to parents and not just what's happening with babies.
Thank you, Jessica. And next we have Sharon.
Hi, everybody. I think I'm last. So I'm going to be the book hog and tell you I have 2 books. The first book that I have recommended for quite a long time is called Mums on Call. I don't have the book with me. I don't know the author, but it's a really great guide for any families who feel they like to work on more of a schedule. They have to have a life that is a little bit more they can look ahead and they can know how their day is going to go. And a lot of times, they don't know how to structure that. So Moms on Call helps that family, that parent to start a routine, kind of follow through, helps to get you to understand at each sort of week level that goes by the weeks of the baby, what you should be expecting sleep-wise, food-wise, activity-wise. And, it's just, there are some people who are not really good just, going on demand. They find it way stressful that they can't, control their day. And it's a great book to help those families, and there is that kind of help out there, and it is available in a download as well. So it's something easy that you can keep on your phone. The second thing I have is called Wonder Weeks, and I know a lot of us doulas fall back on Wonder Weeks and really like that and recommend that to a lot of the families, because again, it within a few days or a week can give you some insight into what they call leaps, where your baby is going to go through some changes coming up or is going through some changes, and helps to explain to you, why all of a sudden is the baby not sleeping the way it was or eating the way they were, or gives you a little bit of explanation. Again, it's a download, so you can follow it, you can track it, and you don't have to carry this book around if you're going, like, what's going on this last couple of days? The baby's just been off, and then you're pulling your hair out going, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not you. They're going through a leap. And after this couple of days or week of change, you're going to have a whole new baby with a whole new set of skills. And, it's really good at explaining that babies don't progress in a straight line. They do little steps. And it just helps you to prepare for those steps. So those are 2 of the books that came to mind for me. Of course, I don't have either one of those books to show you. I don't know the authors, but I know they're pretty easy to look up. So those would be 2 tips for more of a postpartum situation to help parents understand where their baby's at or where they're going. And also, if they're the kind of person that needs to have a bit of a routine, Mums on Call will help them with that. And that's my books. Oh, and look who just dropped in, the other